of when the minister says this is just a minor amendment. Can I remind members on the other side who have spoken in the past about the importance of the Daydor provisions, that the land we are talking about is the symbolic heartland of the Daydor provisions. It is the slither of land that you forgot.
That's why they forgot it.
That it is the slither of land that you forgot. That is the land that was the problem that created the Daydor provisions in the 1970s. Do you realise it's the Daydor land? Do you realise it's the Daydor land, Minister? So, Mr. President, the land we are talking about, the land that goes down from the city of Subiaco, past the hospital and around the university, is the very land that in the 1970s the city of Nedlands tried to take from the city of Subiaco, that led to the Daydor provisions being put into the acts of local government over the many years. It is the symbolic heartland of the Daydor provisions.
This is well and truly payback.
So what an absolute irony that the other argument that you could take, if we were to accept the argument put forward by the minister today, that it was always known, and why would they then come up with a more complex way of doing what they're doing than the way that I have outlined where they could have accepted the city of Riversea yesterday, right? Now, there is one other conspiracy theory, and if the minister is correct that they didn't forget it, that they did it as a conscious act, then the conspiracy theory comes to be true. And that conspiracy theory is that if they had accepted the city of Riversea yesterday, then the amalgamation of the city of then the city of Subiaco would be entitled to seek a referendum under the Daydor provisions, Mr. President. Under the Daydor provisions, the very spiritual land could have invoked the Daydor provisions to come into fruition. Now, Mr. President, I wonder, Mr. President, if maybe we went for the option of that they were stupid in the cabinet. Maybe they are. Maybe it is a conspiracy to deny the people of Subiaco that live in the land that created the Daydor provisions the option of having the Daydor provisions on this occasion. And that it is a grand conspiracy concocted by the Liberals without the help of the National Party on this occasion, the Honourable Colin Holt, I'm glad to see. Maybe it is a conspiracy. But they're your choices, Mr. President. Either they forgot about it, or if the minister is right in her protest this evening, then what they've engaged in is a grand conspiracy to not have the creation of the city of Riversea so that they can abolish the city of Subiaco and deny the people of Subiaco their democratic rights under the Daydor provisions. How ironic is that, Mr. President, that the once great Liberal Party are now in the gutter conspiring to get around the laws of this state in such an underhanded and devious way. Now, I suspect, Mr. President, I go back to my comments this morning that this is a case of they just forgot and didn't get it. But at the very least, Mr. President, if the minister wants to prosecute her case, by all means go ahead, but all you raise in that case, Minister, is the fact that you are trying to deny the people of Subiaco, in the very land that created the Daydor provisions in the first place, the right to have access to the Daydor provisions. And Mr. President, you may recall my final concluding words this morning about the Daydor provisions were created in the city of Subiaco and the people of Subiaco should have access to them. And they should, as should everybody else in Western Australia. But instead we've got an underhanded, sneaky, devious government who can't even do devious, sneaky well because of their complete dysfunction and chaos.